Welcome to video 2. In this one, we're going to continue building towards graphing on the coordinate plane. We are going to talk about two main things in this video. We are going to talk about the form that is going to be the most helpful and useful for us when we are graphing, and we're also going to start looking at some of the key features that we need to be able to graph a line. So, the first thing we're going to look at is the form that we're going to be using the most to graph these. And the form that we're going to be using is called slope-intercept form. This is on your formula sheet that you will be able to use on your mastery checks and tests, as well as the milestone at the end of the year. But what you need to know is what this represents. So we have a handy little graphic here that breaks down the four pieces that this equation gives us. Now, only two of these will you normally see numbers plugged in for. Typically, your y and x will be left as just y and x, as they can represent any ordered pair. However, the m is going to represent our slope, which is going to be how much we're going up or down on the line, and b is going to be our y-intercept. So before we can really start graphing, we need to focus in on these two characteristics and see how they can be helpful to help us graph on these equations. Now, one thing that we need to talk about first is what is a y-intercept? A y-intercept is where your graph is going to cross the y-axis. That was that vertical number line on the Cartesian plane or the coordinate plane that we talked about in the last video. If we are looking at an equation written like our example 2 here, y equals negative 2/3 x plus 4, we can go ahead and pull out our y-intercept from this. If we were to write the general form above this, we can see how this matches the form that we were just talking about. Now, one thing that's important to note for the y-intercept, the y-intercept is always going to be where it crosses the y-axis. That's that vertical line that goes straight up and down here. If we're thinking about x values for a y-intercept, no matter where it is on here, our x value will always have to be 0. Because to be able to cross this line, we have to go we can't go at all to the right and we can't go at all to the left, so our x value has to be 0 to be on this line. So in this example, if we are looking at the slope-intercept form, our b value is going to match up with the 4. So like we said, our ordered pair is going to be 0 because the x value is always going to have to be 0, and 4. So in general, whenever you're asked for a y-intercept, you're always going to have to give it as an ordered pair. That's why we made this important little note here. So your y-intercept should always look something along this: 0, and then b, with b being whatever your b was from your slope-intercept form. And this is always going to be the point that we start the graph with. So since our y-intercept would be 0, 4, we would put a dot right there at 0, 4. And that would be the first dot that we place when we are trying to graph this line. We'll hold off on the next video until we see what we do from there. You guys go ahead and give these U-try problems a go. See if you guys can figure out the y-intercept. And we'll go ahead and look at the next step in video 3. Alright, see you guys then.